If you take a glass of water and pour it onto a bone-dry, neglected potted plant, the water doesn't soak into the soil. It pools on the surface, runs down the pot's sides, and spills onto the floor. The dirt has become hydrophobic, physically repelling the very thing it needs to survive. This exact physical failure exists at the size of a continent. Just south of the Sahara Desert, the Sahel region is facing this crisis right now. At this scale, the failure threatens the survival of millions, national stability, and the ability to halt the expansion of Earth's largest hot desert. Western approaches to this problem often prioritize mega infrastructure, such as billion-dollar desalination plants. We envision massive concrete aqueducts pumping water inland, or fleets of industrial machinery attempting to terraform the sand. The system currently halting the Sahara's progress relies on a decentralized, low-tech spatial engineering network made of millions of simple, hand-dug holes. These are demi-lunes, or half-moons. Understanding how this simple shape solves such a complex operational problem requires looking at the mechanics of the landscape itself. The death of a landscape is, at its core, a breakdown in fluid dynamics. In a healthy landscape, plant roots act as a biological sponge, opening the earth so rain can percolate down into underground aquifers. Over-farming and drought shut down this engine. The sun bakes the soil minerals into a sealed hardpan crust as hard as asphalt. When violent seasonal rains finally arrive, the water hits this biological asphalt and instantly becomes runoff. It sheets across the landscape, building kinetic energy. At high velocity, the water acts like liquid sandpaper. It physically scrapes away the last remaining nutrient-rich topsoil as it rushes into flash flood rivers. Without a physical system to interrupt this, a catastrophic feedback loop takes hold. The rain destroys the soil instead of healing it, and the desert moves south. Reversing this process requires killing the velocity of the rainfall. The water must be forced to stop, pool, and sink. A demi-lune is a semicircular trench, usually 2 to 3 meters wide. The curved side faces uphill, pointing directly into the natural flow of gravity, while the excavated dirt forms a small downhill berm. These trenches are mapped precisely along natural topographic contour lines. They function as microscopic speed bumps placed across a giant sloping highway. Functional geometry is key. Water hitting a square trench creates turbulence, eroding the wall. A straight trench lets water simply run out the open sides. The half-moon shape captures maximum volume, distributing hydrostatic pressure evenly along the curve. By channeling the force of the floodwater into a dead end, the velocity drops to zero. The water is held stable until gravity forces it to slowly percolate downward, breaking through the hardpan crust. Beyond water management, the half-moon grid serves as a mechanical trap for airborne biomass. Heavy, arid winds blow across the Sahel, carrying dust, seeds, and manure. The sudden dip in the landscape creates a micro-eddy in the wind current, forcing the air to drop this cargo directly into the trenches. When the rains fall on these stockpiled seeds, the biological engine activates. These new plant roots grow rapidly and act as biological drills, physically breaking apart the hard crust from the inside out. The plants provide shade, reducing soil evaporation, while their leaves act as a windbreak. This shift from a mechanical intervention to a self-sustaining biological one physically blocks the desert's advance. Large-scale problems often trigger an instinct to mechanize, bringing in fleets of bulldozers and industrial trenchers. However, a 30-ton tractor rolling across the desert physically compresses the soil. This contributes to the very soil crusting problem the project is meant to solve. Heavy machinery also introduces maintenance debt. The required supply chain for fuel, specialized mechanics, and spare parts is both expensive and fragile in remote regions. A centralized megaproject relies on consistent funding and control. If the logistics break down, the entire operation is quickly reclaimed by the sand. Instead, the half-moon system utilizes mass decentralization. The tools are simple shovels and pickaxes, and the labor force is the local population whose livelihoods are directly threatened. This allows the system to scale horizontally. 10,000 different villages can dig these grids simultaneously. There is no central point of failure. The original concept for the Great Clean Wall, a continuous line of trees, often failed because trees cannot survive in dead hydrophobic dirt without preparation. The millions of hand-dug half-moons are the mechanical foundation. They prepare the hostile environment to accept life again. By applying functional geometry to a specific failure of fluid dynamics, millions of simple crescents have become a continent-wide management system. The destructive kinetic energy of a flash flood is weaponized against the desert, carved directly into the dirt.